What's up, guys? So I can't believe that I'm getting ready to tell you guys this story, but I swear to you, you cannot make this shit up. So once again, I'm at the office supply store, but this time I had an issue with an employee and I came really close to going full justified Karen on her. So I'm trying to use the stupid self-print kiosks. It's giving me problems. I'm like, okay, let me try again. Still giving me problems. Let me try again. Still giving me problems. It takes a lot for me to give up. So at that point, I think, okay, let me try the next one. I tried it some 3 times as well. Nothing. Naturally, I go to the counter and I'm like, hey, do we have an alternative method of printing shit from my email, because your kiosk for some reason is giving me problems? The girl who is at the counter goes, you can email it to this email. I'm like, okay. I read the entire piece of paper and it says something about it'll charge you $2.50 for a job that is below $2.50. What I'm getting ready to print usually costs me 4 motherfucking cents. You are inflating the price for one piece of paper by $2.46. Of course, that is absolutely unacceptable. Even though I ain't hurting for $2, it bothers me, because I know that that is not what I'm supposed to be paying. So I look at it and I stop. The lady gets busy, of course. So I'm like, well, shit, you're getting bombarded by customers. I ain't gonna just sit there because I have a time limit. I only have an hour and 15 minutes to get what I have to get done. I'm like, okay, fucking hell, let me try one more fucking time to see if it's just me. Even though consistently, I know for a fact it's not me. I do this regularly. So I try the printer. The lady, like some 2 minutes later, she goes, oh, ma'am, what's your email? And I'm like, are you serious? That thing really seriously is going to charge me $2.50 for one little piece of paper? And she confirmed, and I was like, forget it. I'm gonna try this one more time to see if I can make it work. So I cannot make it work. It has that little circle of loading spinning about, and I let it sit there for about a solid 2 minutes. It usually takes about 7 seconds to transition into printing mode, but it never did. So I approach the counter and I patiently wait until she's able to address me, and she goes, yes ma'am. And I'm like, would you please examine the printer so that you can see what it's doing, and maybe there's something that you can do about it? And then she goes, what does it say? And I'm like, it's just saying that it's calculating my printing job, which is normal, but what's not normal is its delay. And then she goes, oh, the printer hasn't been working all day. And you couldn't fucking tell me? For real. I've been there this whole motherfucking time. You saw me at that kiosk. Why didn't you say, ma'am, just to give you a heads up, those printers have not been working at all for anybody, whether you're scanning or printing, whatever the issue is, it's not working. But you fucking didn't. You let me sit there, waste my goddamn time. You saw me coming in, heading to the motherfucking printer to attempt to use it. That was your first chance to say something, especially if you don't have a piece of paper on it, on both printers, that reads, printer is down to perform the function of printing from email. That would have sufficed. But you saw me there trying and retrying, and I talked to you, and I went back and tried and retried, and it fucking didn't occur you to say something. That is what pisses me off. And what makes me even angrier is that she is a fucking young person, and young people get bad raps. That's why people ain't trying to pay us. But because of fuckers like you, I have to suffer too. And I'm actually a good fucking employee. customer sit there wasting their time trying to use something that's broken. Especially if we ain't put up a sign that says it's down. I will be on top of that shit. I see someone headed in that direction, I'll be like, ma'am, sir, I apologize, but those things ain't working. Or at the very least, go like, what are you trying to do? Oh, printing from email. I apologize, but that is not working. We have an alternative option, but unfortunately, it's going to be mad costly depending on what you're doing. I wouldn't recommend it. Anything. Have some fucking customer service skills, man. What bothers me about these young people is they social skills are horrible. I would never let that happen. And I would hope that nobody lets that happen to me. Even though I got like internally outraged, I stayed cool, at least in front of their presence. Just my, assertive tone is what was present. But assertiveness is not rude. I was just like, oh, okay. So in the end, I just said, oh, thanks. It took everything in me, guys, to not snap and be like, and it didn't fucking occur to you to tell me? Now that makes me angrier than the fact that I cannot get my shit done right now. So there you guys have it. It's interesting how I went from like that one story that I shared with you guys about the guy who like very obviously told me something that I could see, but this fucking person did not. Like, this person needed to tell me that the machine was down because the machine was acting like it was about to do what it's supposed to do. But it just never transitioned into the printing mode. That is the only difference. But she gets no forgiveness because she is a fucking employee. So I expect her to be on top of things. So anyways, you guys, you let me know how you feel about this story. And if it makes you feel a little better, which for me it does, it happens to be the opposite location of the one that I went to, where this one, he wasn't an employee, he was a customer telling me that the printer was busy. So that happened at the location that I'm just coming back from. I called ahead because this is on the opposite side of town. It takes me 20 minutes to drive out here, especially nearing 4 p.m. So I said, let me make sure that that one machine that was broken doesn't equate to the other machine being overworked and potentially failing as well, and then I waste this trip. I called ahead and they confirmed that the machines were working, so I said fantastic, everything worked out. But for real, man, this other fucking location, which is my preferred location, they fucking dropped the ball big time. Like, it almost makes me not want to go back again. But I'm like, am I going to let one little ass employee ruin my experience that regularly, as of right now, 95% of the time it's worked? So yeah, you guys, I thought I would share that with you because, man, it really bothered me. And it's kind of ironic because I didn't want for the customer guy to bother me telling me the obvious that I could see, because the machine was able to indicate to me that it was busy performing a task, and I had backed away and did not have any intention of using it. Whereas this time around, this fucking person saw me trying to make this machine work, even though she knew that it wasn't going to happen. And she did not try to save me from wasting my bloody time. So it's a combination of her terrible customer service, which I work customer service and I don't suck at it, her being young, and on top of that, not informing me promptly. And you guys know that one of the things that pisses me off the most genuinely in the world is when you make me waste my time. So anyways, you guys let me know how you feel about this. How would you have reacted? Do you think I'm right at getting this annoyed by this person? Or do you think that it really isn't a big deal that this person still has adequate customer service? I don't fucking think so. But then again, I know how to juggle multiple tasks at once. And and I know how to be on top of everybody. This person sounded very timid because when I would talk to her, she was like, talk with confidence, man. Like, speak up. And if you have a soft voice, which I tend to have a soft voice, so I understand if people cannot hear me. If you don't want to shout, at least make an effort to add energy to what you're saying so that you can make yourself more understandable. But I never back away or back down, shy away from a fucking customer. You're there to help us. All right, guys, I'll leave you now. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.